Christine with Lone Oak Farm, and last video I told you about how I start my seeds in here in these styrofoam containers, but I always transplant them into other things when they get a little bigger. I already transplanted the tomatoes that were in here, and then I thought, oh hey, I could do a video when I transplant the other ones and show you how I do it. Just a kitchen spoon. Don't tell my husband, it's just from our kitchen drawer, I'm afraid. I take and put it in the side, and I go down and under all of them. Make sure that you go underneath, because there's too many times in the past that I haven't gone deep enough and I've literally just cut the thing off at the ground. So make sure you go all the way down to the bottom as far as you can, and then pry it up all the way across, and it'll come out like this, one big chunk. I set it in a bowl and gently work out these. The smaller ones I don't generally keep. If I've got plenty like this, I don't generally keep them. And I just pry them apart. These are another size. This is the Dixie cup that I can find now. Several years ago I found some this size, which I like these a little bit better, but I can't find them anymore. So this is just an old pan. That's all it is. It's a 9x13 pan that somebody used a knife on it and it got scraped all across the bottom and it's rusted. So I almost threw it away and I, oh no, this is perfect for this. And I set them in here, line them up. Get some inside. I found another stash of them out in the greenhouse, which makes me very happy. But I pull them out. Actually, I can pull this closer. And the two little leaves, they were the first leaves. I just use my fingernail and take those off and set them down in one of these pots. The tomatoes, I go a little deeper. I just put them in the bottom of the pot and I fill the soil up around it. And I do that because tomatoes are one of the vegetables or one of the plants that they will grow roots all up and down the spine of them. Not all plants will do that. Most plants you do have to plant. When you repot it, you have to repot it exactly where it was growing originally. But tomatoes will root up and down. And the deeper that you can plant them actually is the better. So every time I transplant them, I put them in the next pot or I put them in the ground, and I put them as deep as I can and put dirt up around them. I'm almost done. And so by the time that I plant them in the ground, they've got a good root system on them, which that way they grow better. They don't dry out as fast. Okay. Oh, I'm just one of those people. I'll go ahead and plant this one too. Now this is seed starting soil. It's the fluffy stuff that doesn't have any fertilizer in it. And I will take everything and put it back in here. I'm making a mess, but that's okay. And smooth it out. Which is why in the last video you saw a few of these in the other pots that are just flat. They don't have anything in them because the next thing I need to plant is annuals, like annual flowers. And I didn't want to start them too early. If you start them too early, they get so big and they get root bound, and it just doesn't do anything for them. So I've got all of these. That's what my goal is today, is to get enough of these little pots emptied, and I will plant one packet in each one. Let me get this. Okay, this is my big pot of my big bag of soil I told you I was going to end up using anyway. Hold the very tip roots carefully, and I overfill it. And I'll show you why in a minute. Just hold it into the center. When I do this, this little setup I have just started doing this year with this, just a little card table, and I can fold it up and set it and put it in between the refrigerator and freezer. And we leave this little chair out here, and that, because doing seedlings like this takes hours for me. I will sit out here and do this for hours, and this way I can. It doesn't hurt my back. It doesn't, you know, I don't get tired. I don't, and it contains the mess to one area in the house. So when I'm all the way done here, I will clean everything up, put the chair and the table away. Oops, that's a little full. And I will vacuum the floor, and it'll look like nothing happened. You won't even be able to tell. Okay. Now, go back through. Fill this up one more time, and then go through and press it down around, and then move it over. See, I will always have a few that need just a little bit more. I start my own seeds because I enjoy doing it, but also over the years, I've been able to grow things, and I've had friends that have been so jealous about some of the plants, that the varieties that I can grow that you can't get in the store. It seems like there's too many, even garden centers, some of them don't get very creative when it comes to plants. Different varieties, and they have the same tried and true varieties that they grow and they sell. And I've tried different tomato varieties that you can't buy in the store. These are actually Pantano Romanesco. The ones that I did earlier are super Italian, and I'm really excited to try those. These were just a packet that I had left over from last year that I used up. And I'll plant a couple of them and give the rest away. So, and 3 will fit across. Just put them in there. Take my little spoon with the name on it, stick it in the first one, and I'm done. I will continue to do this through all of these. I'm not sure I'm going to do the peppers. Let me see. I have another variety of tomato here, and there's Anaheim peppers, grande jalapeno, notapeno, paprika, corno di, let's see, quattro di osco, and it's kind of the same one, but I have red and yellow. I love to have a variety of different colors of peppers. I have red and I have green. You know, they all start out green, but when I get the red and the orange and the yellow ones, and I make my own packets of peppers for fajitas and different stuff. I like having a variety of peppers. It's just fun, and I can do it very, very inexpensively by starting my own seedlings. We have, the next things I'm going to have to transplant tonight. Let's see if I can get it out without. And I did bring in some other sized pots just for this. I need to put that one back. That's okay. These, I have gotten really interested in growing dahlias. I've done it for several years, but they're terribly expensive. And I found a place online that sold dahlia seeds. And I need to transplant these tonight. I brought some. They have done remarkable. These are all dahlias. And when I will grow them, and then in the fall, I will dig up all the tubers and save the tubers, and store them over winter. But I have 4 or 5 different varieties. So it'll be fun this year to watch them bloom and see what colors. That's the thing. That's the cons to this. The positive is I've probably got 30 right here from one packet of seeds. This is just one variety. Is that what this is? Yeah, the rainbow mixed colors. But it was very, very inexpensive, but I don't know what colors they'll be. So, which is fine. I'm sure I'll like every single one. I've never met a flower that I don't like. And these are my geraniums. And the lower leaves, the first leaves need to be pulled off. They're yellowing there. But they're looking so good. I just transplanted them. It just says orange. I know there was a different name to it, but I have a hard time finding the orange variety. And I just really love the color. And out of 10 seeds that I planted, all 10 of them came up, which I felt very fortunate for that. So it made I think it was $4 for a packet of 10 seeds. And while I was a little concerned, like, oh, that seems like a little high, I ended up with 10 plants out of it. So yeah, it worked out. But this is my next project, is to transplant these into little 3-inch pots. I have a bunch of this size pot, and I will transplant them all into these. I didn't really expect them to get this big this quickly, but they really are. I will also be planting some, what else can I show? Oh, here's another variety of dahlias. Here's another one, and here's another one. So there's 3 of them, and I think a 4th one hasn't been transplanted yet. This is actually celery. This was my thing to grow last year, my new thing to grow, and I planted the seeds and only like 4 or 5 ended up coming up. And I was so disappointed. The outside of the packet actually said, we've given you more because of low germination rates. And I thought, well, I planted enough, I thought, but they just didn't come up. Well, this is 2-year-old seed, and when I picked out the packet of seed, I thought, I'm going to finish using those. And I just planted all of them because I thought they're not going to come up. Being as they're 2 years old, they won't come up, even more. Every single one of them must have germinated, because each of these has 72 little pots, and every one of them is filled. So yeah, I have plenty of celery. I'm actually going to start some more, if I can find some more of these little bitty pots like this. I want to start my peas inside, because I've had problems in the past, and I always blame the rabbits. Sorry, rabbits. I don't think it was really them. I had a terrible time with them not coming up, and they bitten off, and the bitten off part I'll give to the rabbits, but they just didn't come up, and I didn't know what the deal was. But I finally read somewhere that mice will dig up the pea seeds and eat them. They love them. And we do live in the country, so we do have mice here and there. And I'm fairly certain that's what the problem is. But they suggested planting them inside. So I'm going to start, I've started my sweet pea seeds, and they're actually about 2 inches tall, and I moved them out to the greenhouse already today. And tonight, when I empty out all these, I will start all my garden peas and get them a couple inches tall at least before I plant them outside. Hopefully the mice won't get them then, but hopefully I can figure out something to go around them to secure them from the rabbits too. So yeah, I've got a lot of work ahead of me, so I'm going to get started again. Thanks for coming by.